Crushing Juliet at Radio Memphis. Don't worry, the mics were off. Broken Cadillac is the record. The song is called Someday. Ahead of that, it was the Marilyns with Trouble Dolls. 15 minutes in front of the nooner here on this Thursday. I a little while ago, I pulled up the immigrant's flight.
Oh, yeah.
She left this morning at 9 a.m. their time, I think. Noon their time. They're 6 hours ahead of us. She's going to be landing in Atlanta at about I think it's 3:30 their time, which would be 2 o'clock our time, 2:30 our time. Anyway, I think. I don't know. Anywho, just a little while ago, she was over the wreckage of the Titanic because it follows the same route from Dublin.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that marked on the map?
No, but I kind of know.
Oh, you kind of know where it is, yeah.
And so I think as of right now, though, she is just now east of Nova Scotia. And then we'll come down south into Atlanta, along the coastline.
I'm talking to my friend Mark.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, you need to come from Memphis?
Uh-huh.
And he said, hey, I have to come up there and get that Gus's fried chicken.
Yes, he does.
Okay, I didn't know this. He said there's one in Houston.
Yes.
But, man, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
I didn't know there was a Gus's chicken in Houston.
Yeah, they're franchised out. They're
no kidding.
Yeah, they're in various places, yes. It's kind of a thing.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Kind of a thing. So, yeah, I'm surprised he's not considered just moving here because as a musician, he would be working a lot.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah, you build you a band around him,
Well, I'm gonna work on him a little bit.
Yeah, I think you probably should.
I think I should.
There's something there, man.
See if, we can.
So you never know.
Get through things. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Gus's fried chicken in Houston. I thought there were two of them.
There's another one. There's a couple in Nashville. There's
had no idea.
Two here. I think they're in Mississippi. Maybe, I don't know. They've kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, and I would imagine. Well, franchises, unless it's Taco Bell,
where you're buying the food from the same place,
right?
Yes,
right.
That's the consistency sequence.
Yeah. And I could see how Gus's fried chicken would differ here and differ in Houston.
Yes. There is, speaking of food, there's a fun YouTube channel called Weird History, and the guy that does it is he's actually quite good, and he talks about he has a sub channel that's Weird Food History, and he did the whole thing about how Wonder Bread became Wonder Bread and how it had this really kind of a dark past, and
the Wonder Bread,
about how before Wonder Bread came around, sliced bread, as it were, that part of the marketing was this like, oh, no, you don't eat dark bread because that's for dark people. And there was the whole, oh, yes, that white bread was clean eating and it was for healthy white people. Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
I prefer dark bread.
Well, that's what this
and
channel.
Dark beer.
Yes, but that was their early marketing thing.
Wow.
And it became such a staple that it stuck around. And it's fascinating. Well, he has another bit that he does. These are like 20-minute long videos. I saw this late last night. It is called Crazy Chicken Man. And it's about Colonel Sanders, Harlan Sanders.
Okay.
And where he came from and how he started and what all went down and what his life was like. He was a crazy chicken man for sure. He did not start KFC until he was in his 60s. He couldn't hold a job up to that because he'd start fighting somebody. He was a violent dude. Apparently had gotten involved in a shootout once. He was a hard liquor drinking crazy motherfucker.
Really?
Oh,
Harlan Sanders.
Harlan Sanders, yes.
Wow.
Had a wife and several girlfriends and yeah.
I want to see the little short movie that they did with Mario Lopez as Harlan. It looks like it's all completely tongue in cheek.
Of course it is.
And it's supposed, I think it's only like 20 minutes long.
He did not come up with the name of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No?
No. It started as he believed in various ways to market the new business, of course. Because he was selling chicken at gas stations. That's how it got started. And there was another guy that kind of came in and helped him out. Ultimately, Ray Crockett got involved and kind of got him on the path to, chicken immortality, if you will, and becoming synonymous with it, there was a full-page ad that was going into some magazine, I forget which one, and it was a copywriter that coined the term Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he was okay with it.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't come up with that. It was Sanders Chicken or Sanders Gas and Chicken or whatever it was, but they were branching out into different franchises. He spent 10 years on the road developing franchises of this thing. He was 75 when he left it.
Yeah, when he sold it, because I saw him in a wheelchair. I think we've discussed this before. It was several years after he sold the company, and they asked him what he thought of it. I don't like it.
Oh,
and the gravy tastes like library paste.
He said, after he'd sold it, he made, I think it was like $8 million, $5 or $8 million when he sold it,
which is nothing by today's standards, but
he agreed to stay on as their spokesweasel, right? He was the iconic face because he wound up selling his image
to them, yeah,
and his name. And they still use it to this day.
Yeah.
And after it was sold from him or bought from him, it was like 3 or 5 years later, it got sold to another company. R.J. Reynolds wound up owning it for a bit, and they bought it for $500 million. And he very famously said, and there's interviews about it, he goes, "Don't call me for money. I didn't make nothing off of that deal."
Yeah, yeah.
And then he got back into the business again by creating Sanders Kentucky roast beef, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and it didn't go well. And they had threatened to sue him for the use of his own image over this whole thing, which is crazy. They didn't pursue it,
that does seem odd,
but it didn't go through anyway, and the restaurant failed. And then he died like 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah.
He had a colorful past, and let's just say we'll use the word colorful,
yes,
in the term that is indeed what it is meant. And if you go online and you search John Goodman KFC, that is more.
Oh my God!
That is based more in the reality and some of the myth than is, and it's uncomfortable.
But it's funny.
It's hysterical.
It really.
And John Goodman
funny.
plays him
so well,
and the way it's edited and put together,
it's great.
And all the dancing and stuff, and he goes, "And now you know when it comes to chicken, I prefer dark meat over white, if you know what I mean."
Yes.
And it's just like holy
shit.
Yes, and the whole thing is about, hey, I love gay people and stuff. Oh, it's still timely after all these years.
Yeah, it is, and that's an old skit.
It's an old bit that was done. God, I want to say it was in the 90s when they did that.
I thought it was longer. I mean, not that long ago, but I don't know. It's
90s
funny,
or in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, go look that up.
It's funny.
It is funny. It's from Funny or Die, is it?
I think it's a Funny or Die skit.
Or College Humor. Funny or Die, maybe.
Oh.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I can't either.
And it's about 6 or 7 minutes long. I mean, it's it's so funny. Oh, my goodness. All right, I told you I had an update on a story we talked about some time ago from Livonia, Michigan. It was 3 weeks ago that we talked about it. The Grand River Academy there in Livonia, where a kindergartner brought in margaritas and Dixie cups to school for snack time. My kind of school. And there was all this talk about this kid didn't know what was going on. Everyone went, no, this kid knew exactly what was going on. This is Mommy's Little Helper. And they were drinking margaritas in school, and the teachers found out, and they all flipped out, and all the shit went down. Very same school. 3 weeks later, two 11-year-olds were hospitalized after one of them brought cannabis edibles to school. Crystal Morton reached out to various news outlets after learning that her son was given a marijuana edible in their 5th grade classroom. She said her son didn't know that the funny feeling he was experiencing was actually just him stoned to the bejesus.
Yeah.
On the THC. Mom here, Crystal, said, Quote, he was feeling funny. That's all he kept saying was that, I feel funny. Sorry, kid, your punchline's not good and your timing is way off. To know that my child has this in his system makes me angry. I'm devastated. Pipe down, Mom. She said that another fifth grader had brought in the weed gummies to school this week, Monday, and didn't
Way to go, kid.
And didn't warn her son what they were. Oh, I bet you they did. The kid didn't. He just doesn't understand it.
Right.
She said, this child intentionally brought in marijuana to the school and distributed it.
No, he brought cannabis into the school.
Well, this comes to us through Fox, so there you go.
Right.
Both fifth graders were taken to Beaumont Hospital and are okay. Of course they are. They just got the munchies. But Livonia police are investigating now to determine, well, how did the first kid come across the drugs in the first place?
And where was this?
Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Mama said that we might have to open up the conversation of drugs in elementary school because this is a prime example of what can happen.
Okay.
Hold up, there's more. It says here this is the second time in 2 weeks that a Michigan student brought weed gummies to school. A similar situation played out at an elementary school near Flint. And the mother in that case was charged with second-degree child abuse. That's a bit much.
Yes.
Mama here, Crystal Morton, says that, well, that's the right action. She said, the parent is number one to blame. Somebody is not watching this child. Someone is not paying attention to this child, and I don't know what's going on in their household. End quote. Well, I bet she's a peach.
Oh, yeah.
She's one of those people that sit on next door all day long.
Uh-huh. And when somebody drives by, who the hell is that?
There's a man in a hoodie walking a dog. But that's not all. She thinks Grand River Academy, the school where all this went down, needs to take responsibility as well.
No.
She said, I got a call before because my daughter brought in peanut butter crackers, and they said she can't bring those because there are kids in here with peanut butter allergies, but this boy is passing out marijuana in the classroom, end quote.
She's stupid.
The school released a statement that said they do what they can to monitor what students bring in the school.
Well, you just can't allow.
I have the statement.
Oh.
We were distressed to realize one of our fifth graders brought a marijuana-infused gummy to school Monday and shared it with a peer. Out of an abundance of caution, both children were sent to receive medical attention. Let me pause right there before I continue.
What is medical attention?
What medical attention do you get when you're tripping coal balls?
Taco Bell.
Here's some Go-Gurt and watch some cartoons for a little while?
Yeah.
Have some popcorn, maybe some Dorito pizza rolls, maybe?
Yeah.
The statement goes on to say, while edibles like these look like candy, they certainly are not. I beg to differ. And parents need to take responsibility to keep these kinds of products out of the reach of their children. While we try to keep an eye on everything our students bring to school, that's simply not possible.
Correct.
We recognize this is a disturbing situation for any family and are working directly with the families of those students who were involved. We have also taken this opportunity to remind parents we have a zero-tolerance policy for bringing banned items to school. We encourage all parents and guardians to be vigilant about the food and snacks they are sending to school with their children.
No.
Is Michigan pro-pot? Do they have medicinal and or recreation there? Look that up. I'll continue. Meanwhile, Mama said that after what had happened to her son, she has lost faith in the school. She said, they got to do better at that school. It's gone downhill. Used to be a good school. Sounds like an old person there. Livonia police confirmed they are investigating the matter, but could offer no further comment. Child Protective Services, of course, has been notified. All right, so what do you
Michigan legalized recreational marijuana in 2018, meaning it is legal for adults over 21 in Michigan to grow, consume, and possess marijuana.
There you go.
The first stores opened in December. We don't care about that.
Right.
The law allows individuals to possess up to 2.5 ounces of the drug.
It's not a drug.
It's not a drug.
No.
And 15 grams of concentrated marijuana.
I get it. The laws are you're over 21, you can have it. Clearly, this kid shouldn't have had it. Somebody in that household did. The kid knew what was up, grabbed a few, popped them in a pocket in a Ziploc bag, went, hey, Junior, here, come on, here, check this out.
So what you do is you keep your edibles hidden.
If you got a kid around, yeah, you have to.
This is all the parents being stupid.
That's, of course, what it is.
And I see people getting all bent out of shape, but I think they're overreacting.
Of course, this mother is completely flipped out because her kid got stoned.
Got stoned, yeah.
And for a little kid, one gummy is probably way more than enough.
Not near enough for me, man.
I hear you. Not a huge fan of the edible myself, but I get it.
Yeah, me too.
And if I were a parent of the kid, it'd be like, well, first of all, young man, don't eat something a stranger gives you.
Well, there's that.
You should learn that lesson because you just don't know. Because it could be
a stranger. This is a buddy in school.
Still,
hey, I got these candies from home.
Yeah, still,
we're trading stuff at lunch.
I know, but nowadays you gotta be kind of careful about that. You don't trust nobody. And then if my kid, or if I get a call from the school and I find out that my kid is, stoned, I'd start laughing.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, he'd be all right. Give him some pizza rolls and some juice, and he'll be okay. He'll be right in no time. Plant him in front of a TV.
Right. Exactly. You just give him some
pizza rolls. Give him a video game. Let him play on his phone for a while.
Yeah, let him sober up.
In about an hour or so, he'll be fine. Mr. Cheddar, don't you think you need to come get your child? He's all right. It's not like he's driving anywhere. Now, those kids that were passing the margaritas around, now you got to have a chat with them.
You don't want any of those third graders running around drunk.
Yeah, well, then they're going to get behind the wheel of a car, and it's tequila, for God's sake, and they'll be all naked and just doing weird shit, Celebrating Cinco de Mayo a little early, you see.
Tequila with third graders?
Oh, but you just gave me the name of a sitcom.
Tequila with third graders.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a game show.
Ooh. You get a third grader a few shots in and start asking him questions.
Yeah, right. There you go.
About what he would have learned in school at third grade.
Right.
See how that goes. And the winner, the grand prize winner, gets a gummy.